The world can change in an instant. One minute you're checking the mail, grabbing groceries, going about your day-to-day. The next you're facing a wildfire, a flood, an earthquake, chaos. In those moments, every second counts. You need to act fast, to be ready. That's where your bug-out bag comes in. This isn't about living in fear, it's about being prepared. It's about having that peace of mind, knowing you can handle whatever life throws at you. A well-packed bug-out bag can mean the difference between navigating a crisis and facing a catastrophe. We're talking about those first 72 hours, the critical window when you might need to rely on your own skills and resources to survive. Today we're going deep into the wilderness of preparedness, arming you with the knowledge to build your own ultimate bug-out bag. Don't wait for the emergency, let's get started. Right, let's talk packs. Your bug-out bag is your lifeline, your trusty sidekick in a crisis. It needs to be tough, reliable, just like a good climbing partner when you're dangling off a cliff face. We're talking durable, water-resistant material that can withstand the elements because trust me, you never know what you're gonna run into out there. Size matters too. You need enough space for 3 days worth of essentials, food, water, shelter, without overloading yourself. Remember, you might have to trek for miles, navigate fallen debris, keep moving. You don't want to be bogged down by a bag that feels like you're carrying a small hippopotamus. Comfort is king. Look for padded shoulder straps and a waist belt to distribute the weight evenly. Trust me, a sore back in the middle of nowhere is about as welcome as a swarm of mosquitoes in your tent. This tactical backpack here, this is what I'm talking about. Water-resistant, multiple compartments, fits snugly, even when I'm scrambling over rocks. Choose a color that blends in, something that doesn't scream, "Hey, look at me." Remember, in some situations, blending in is just as important as standing out. Now, before you even think about packing, try it on. Walk around your house with it, get a feel for the weight distribution. You need to be comfortable carrying this for hours, potentially even days. This isn't a fashion show, this is about survival. Out in the wild, whether it's the Amazon rainforest or the concrete jungle of a city without power, water is your #1 priority. Forget food for a minute, you can go days without eating, but dehydration, that'll knock you down faster than a charging rhino. You need to pack at least 1 liter of water per person per day. That's 3 liters for those crucial 72 hours. Now I know what you're thinking, Bear, that's a lot of weight. And you're right, that's why you need a backup plan, a portable water filter or purification tablets. This collapsible canteen here, this little beauty saves space and weight. And with this filter, I can drink directly from streams, rivers, even puddles if I have to. It might not be Evian water, but it'll keep you alive. Don't forget a small metal cup or pot. Boiling water is the most reliable way to kill any nasty bacteria that might be lurking in your water source. Think about it. If disaster strikes, you don't know when you'll find a clean water source again. This, my friends, is about being resourceful, about adapting, about having the skills to survive anywhere. Alright, let's talk fuel. You can't run on empty, even in a survival situation. But we're not talking about gourmet meals here. We need lightweight, calorie-dense options that'll keep you going when the going gets tough. Freeze-dried meals? Those are your best friend. Just add hot water, wait a bit, and boom, you've got yourself a hot meal. Pack a variety of flavors to keep your morale up. Because let me tell you, morale, that's just as important as food and water. Supplement those meals with energy bars, trail mix, jerky, things you can snack on throughout the day. You're aiming for about 2,000 calories a day to keep your energy levels up. Now don't forget the little things. A spoon, a spork, maybe even a small camping stove if you've got the space. And for goodness sake, don't forget a can opener if you're packing canned goods. You don't want to be stuck with a can of beans and no way to open it. Trust me, I've been there. Remember, every ounce counts, but don't skimp on the calories. You need that energy to stay alert, to make smart decisions, to survive. Out in the elements, exposure is a silent killer. You can go from comfortably warm to dangerously cold faster than you can say hypothermia. And trust me, hypothermia is not something you want to mess with. A compact emergency bivvy is a must-have. These things are lightweight, packed down small, and can mean the difference between a good night's sleep and shivering yourself to sleep. If you've got the space, a lightweight tent is even better. It'll give you more room to move around and offer better protection from the elements. Now, let's talk about staying warm. These thermal blankets are lifesavers. They're thin, compact, but they trap your body heat like nobody's business. I always have a couple of these in my pack. And don't underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned tarp and some paracord. With these, you can create a makeshift shelter almost anywhere. Tie it between trees, drape it over rocks, get creative. It'll provide you with a dry, wind-resistant haven, which is crucial in a survival situation. We've talked about shelter from the elements, but you need personal protection too. And I'm not talking about body armor, I'm talking about the right clothing. You need to be prepared for anything Mother Nature throws at you. Pack a complete change of clothes, including extra socks and underwear. Trust me, nothing feels better than a fresh pair of socks after a long day of trekking. Choose moisture-wicking fabrics to avoid chafing and keep sweat away from your body. A rain jacket is non-negotiable. Even if the forecast calls for sunshine, pack one. The weather can change in an instant, and the last thing you want is to be caught in a downpour without protection. Gloves are essential too. They'll protect your hands from the elements, from blisters if you're using tools. And believe me, they can make a world of difference in cold weather. Remember, staying dry and warm is about more than just comfort. It's about preventing hypothermia, it's about staying focused, it's about increasing your chances of survival. Tools of the trade essential gear. In a survival situation, the right tools can be as valuable as gold. We're not talking about fancy gadgets here, we're talking about the essentials, the tools that can help you build a fire, find your way, and even defend yourself if necessary. First up, a sturdy survival knife. This is non-negotiable, folks. From cutting rope and building a shelter to preparing food, a good knife is your best friend in the wild. Make sure it's sharp, durable, and feels good in your hand. Next, a multi-tool. This little beauty packs a punch, pliers, screwdrivers, a saw, even a bottle opener. It's like having a whole toolbox in your pocket. And never underestimate the power of duct tape. I'm serious. This stuff can fix almost anything. A ripped tent, a broken shoe, you name it. I always have a roll in my pack. Now let's talk fire. A fire can provide warmth, cook your food, and even boost your morale. Pack a fire-starting kit with waterproof matches, a lighter, and a ferro rod. And here's a pro tip: practice using them before you need them. You don't want to be fumbling around in the dark, trying to figure out how to light a fire when you're cold and hungry. First aid and hygiene. Staying healthy under pressure. We've talked about the physical challenges of survival, but we can't forget about health and hygiene. In a crisis, a small injury can quickly turn into a big problem if it's not treated properly. And trust me, the last thing you want is a stomach bug when you're miles from civilization. Your first aid kit doesn't need to be fancy, but it needs to have the basics: bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, gauze, and any personal medications you take regularly. Remember, this is about being prepared for the unexpected. Hygiene is just as important as first aid. Pack travel-size soap, a toothbrush, toothpaste, and wet wipes. Staying clean will help prevent infections and keep your spirits up. It might seem like a small thing, but trust me, when you're in a survival situation, even the smallest comforts can make a big difference. Remember, your body is your most important tool in a survival situation. You need to take care of it, keep it healthy, and be prepared for any medical emergencies that might arise. Don't leave home without these personal items. Alright, we've covered the essentials: food, water, shelter, tools. Now let's talk about the personal items that can make a world of difference in a survival situation. First up, navigation. A map and compass are crucial, even if you're familiar with the area. You never know when you might have to take an unexpected detour, and don't rely solely on your phone for navigation. Batteries die, signals get lost, but a good old-fashioned map and compass will always point you in the right direction. Speaking of communication, a hand-crank weather radio is a must-have. It'll keep you updated on weather conditions, emergency broadcasts, and any news from the outside world. Don't forget about cash. Small bills are key, as you might not have access to ATMs or card readers. And a copy of your important documents, ID, insurance cards, medical information, sealed in a waterproof bag. Finally, pack a small notebook and a pen. This can be used for taking notes, leaving messages, or even just jotting down your thoughts. In a stressful situation, it can be therapeutic to write down your feelings. So there you have it, your ultimate guide to building a bug-out bag. Remember, this isn't about living in fear, it's about being prepared, about having the confidence to face the unknown. This bag, it's more than just gear, it's your lifeline in an emergency. It's about taking control, being proactive, and knowing that you've got the tools to survive. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Last Stand Prep for more survival tips and tricks, and share this video with someone who needs to be ready for anything. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next one.